Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, sunshiny San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope you guys are excited and ready to begin a new day that you have the opportunity to influence dramatically by the story you tell yourself about what it is you are experiencing, recognizing that it's not about what happens to you that makes a difference in your life. It's what you do with what happens to you and how you respond to it that makes the difference in your life. I asked my beautiful bride this morning, is there anything you want me to talk about today? And she said, persistence. I'll tell you something about that woman. That woman is one of the most persistent people I have ever met. Zig Ziglar talks about consistent persistence is known as persistency. Consistent persistence is known as persistency. And this is a key factor to your ability to accomplish your goals. Many people have a desire for certain things and a desire to achieve certain goals. However, in the pursuit of these goals, the opportunity to become extremely discouraged, extremely frustrated, maybe even experience several breakdowns comes throughout this process. And that's when many bodies are strewn aside on the path to the goal when they have decided it's just too hard to continue. Now, the challenge with this is somebody never really knows what their true capacity or potential will be if they are left to themselves to be in charge of these choices. What do I mean by that? Well, specifically for independent business owners, your ability to have a voice of accountability and clarity is typically the key factor between you performing at your highest or you merely working until it hurts and then quitting. Consistent persistence is known as persistency. It is the ability for you to perform regularly with steadfastness and a commitment to the activities, trusting the process and understanding that before you get good at anything, you will be terrible at that thing most likely. Zig Ziglar, my mentor, said it this way: anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you can do it well. Let me say that one more again. Anything worth doing, is your marriage worth doing? Is your physical fitness worth doing? Is your financial stability worth doing? Is your relationships with your children worth doing? Is your reputation with your colleagues worth doing? Is excellence in your business worth doing? Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you can do it well. When we understand this simple principle, it gives us the additional wind we need in our sails for those days when we feel like we are failing, and those days that we feel like we have fallen short, and those days we begin to doubt the dreams and goals and desires that have been in our heart maybe for decades. And on the path to the pursuit of these dreams, we lose heart and we quit. This, my friend, is the difference between the champions and those sweet souls who threw in the white flag right before their breakthrough. Many of you know the true story of the gentleman who understood about there being diamond mines in Africa and who spent all of his money on buying acres and acres of land in Africa to begin mining for diamonds. And he mined for years and years. He was mining for diamonds in Africa, and finally came to the end of himself and decided to quit and throw in the towel and gave it up and said, I'm done with it. I've been doing this for years. It hasn't yielded anything, and I'm done. And he ended up selling his land for literal pennies on the dollar. True story, pennies on the dollar. The gentleman that bought the land picked up where he left off and continued to mine the land. 3 feet from where the first man quit, 3 feet, they discovered the largest diamond mine in all of Africa since that time. There's never been a larger diamond. He was literally 3 feet away from acres of diamonds. Are you 3 feet away from your acres of diamonds? Are you 3 feet away? When you're ready to quit is when it's time to buckle down the tightest. That's when it's time to give the hardest push and the strongest effort. And oh, by the way, if you are in relationship with somebody who is walking with you through that, it is significantly easier than doing it by yourself. And I end today with another true story of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was training in front of the paparazzi at one time in his career, and as they were taking pictures and asking him questions, one of the reporters asked him, "Champ, how many sit-ups do you do every day?" And he said, "I have no idea." And they said, "Champ, you can't be the champion of the world and not count your sit-ups." And Muhammad Ali says, "Oh, I do count my sit-ups." And they said, "Okay, champ, you count your sit-ups. Well, how many do you do every day?" And he said, "I don't know." And they said, "Champ, you just said you count your sit-ups." "Yes, I count them and we write them down." "Well then, champ, how many sit-ups do you do every day?" He said, "I don't know." They said, "Champ, please quit toying with us. Quit playing games with us. If you count your sit-ups and you write down your sit-ups, how can it be possible that you not know how many sit-ups you do every day?" And he said, "Here's why I don't know." He says, "I start doing sit-ups, and when it hurts like hell and I'm ready to quit, that's when I start counting. 1, 2, 3. You see," he said, "boys, you see, when y'all are ready to quit, that's when I'm waking up." And that's what separates the champions from others. When their quitting time becomes your starting time, you know you're beginning to enter the land of champions. Do you need more perseverance? Do you need more clarity? Do you need more focus? Ladies and gentlemen, consistent persistence is persistency. And no wonderful thing worth having will ever come easy. There's always work to be put in. I close with this, the words of my wise mentor, Zig Ziglar. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you can do it well. Have a great day, guys.